I thought it was a great opportunity for me to expand my content marketing skills.
We've got an incredibly new edition of Content Marketing University. It's really reflective of the time that we live in with regards to the technology, social media, the distribution, and everything. And we've really upgraded everything in the university to reflect that.
One of the things that stood out is that CMIU is also backed by the American Marketing Association.
CMI and AMA have partnered together with a certified course that is our Content Marketing University to become a certified content marketing leader.
I have 2 master's degrees, but I'm most excited about this certification.
How much of what we do today as marketers is different from what we did 5 years ago or 10 years ago. Having an ongoing learning opportunity that you achieve through certification is critical.
Marketing is such a big space that everyone plays in, and to zero in on content marketing and to do it in a cost-effective way in a matter of months was really the appeal to me.
And to see all of the reviews, I researched it a lot before I enrolled because it's an investment. And it's not only an investment for my company, but it's an investment in me.
I just thought it was a great piece of educational learning experience that I could add to my resume and really cement my expertise in the content marketing field.
If you're a marketing practitioner and you want to upskill your way into becoming a certified content marketing leader, well, then Content Marketing University is for you.
Hello, everyone. This is Amanda with the Content Marketing Institute. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon for another episode of Live with CMI. And as always, I am joined by my awesome colleague, JK. JK, how are we doing here? We're just talking about how the holidays are
little pre-show banter talking about how everybody's going to be ping-ponging for the holiday coming up. But just know, everybody should be aware that I'm going to be wearing my Pass the Stuffing t-shirt. So I'm totally prepared to, like I was telling our guest, the tradition of watch the parade, watch the dog show, eat way too much turkey and pie, and then fall asleep watching football. So it is what it is.
Sounds like a plan. Yes. And do you have a t-shirt for literally like every single thing? Like is your t-shirt collection like just one closet full of different kinds of t-shirts?
Let's just
do
say
an episode on that, like what your t-shirt collection looks like, because it's pretty impressive.
Let's just say I'm towing the line of hoarding. It's getting to that point.
It's like, what is the topic about the episode this week? JK's got some sort of t-shirt that will go along with it, whatever it is.
Yep,
so
for sure.
Well, speaking of today's show, consumers today expect more from brands, and they don't just want a product or a service. They want to support businesses that align with their values. And as we approach the Thanksgiving holiday here in the US, we thought it would be a good time to chat about purposeful marketing and building a brand that leads with purpose, right, JK?
Oh, that's right. We want to help you think about building a brand that not only stands out in its values, but revenue. And we have a good friend here today to help us chat with us about that and give us some great direction.
We are super excited about that. But before we get to all that, as always, we want you to know that this live stream is brought to you by the Content Marketing Institute. And if for some reason you don't know who we are yet, we are the leading training and education organization for all things content marketing. So you can head over to contentmarketinginstitute.com for all kinds of great resources. And as always, as you join us here today, please give us a virtual wave. Let us know where you're joining us from. We love to hear from all of you, and makes for a more engaging live stream when you chat with us or drop a question in the comment section there, and I will try to get to it as best as we can. So if you have a question as we go along, feel free to drop it in there, and we would love to hear from you. So Let's get right to it here. So brands that lead with purpose not only stand out but drive revenue, but many still kind of struggle with defining that purpose in a way that's authentic, that it resonates with the audience, and then sort of integrating that into all parts of the business: content, messaging, culture, etc. So today we hope to offer some help, JK.
That's right. Our great friend Anh Nguyen, the chief brand amplifier at Amplified Marketing, joins us to explore like how to go beyond the buzzwords and create an authentic, purposeful brand that truly connects and converts.
Hi,
Hey,
Anh.
Thank you so much for just having me on. I'm so excited and really honored. And thanks for calling me your good friend, JK. I love it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Come on.
And of course, our good friend Amy is here. She, of course, is watching as well. So thanks for joining us, Amy, as always. So first question here, and when we're talking about brands or businesses having a purpose-driven brand, what exactly does that mean to you? And why do you think like maybe now it's more important to ever to think about having a purpose-driven brand?
Oh, yeah. Fantastic way to start the conversation. Really being a purpose-driven brand is about considering what your values are as a brand. How do you show up to your community beyond just selling something, beyond making a profit? And so that's really the basis of what being a purpose-driven brand is all about, why you exist beyond selling something. And purpose can be that North Star for brands, and especially thinking about the buyers of today. I keep saying the buyers of tomorrow, but really Gen Z and millennials are already the buyers of today, and who will eventually become those decision makers at companies. For those two generations, working or doing business with a brand that aligns with their values is very important and is often a deciding factor. I'm a Gen Xer, right? So for me, having a purpose is a great nice to have, but for me, it doesn't necessarily have to be a deciding factor, but thinking about those future generations and the ones that will be the decision makers, those are definitely some things to consider. And so, because companies think, oh, this is a woo-woo thing, right? Like, oh, it's nice to have, but no, this has a purpose and this can affect your bottom line. And really, it's about what turns marketing into meaning from noise. Content marketing world's theme this year was breakthrough. How do you break through that noise? And having a purpose can absolutely do that.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see. Like, I love your point about like a generational thing. Me being a Gen Xer, like initially when purposeful marketing and we started talking about this, I'm like, that's interesting, but is it a must-have? But now when you see I reference my daughters a lot on this program, but I see they're getting into the age where they're being affected by marketing and what the products they use, the brands they follow, and the ones that really stand out to them are the ones that are truly purposeful. So it's very interesting. But let me pose a big question for you. How do brands or businesses go about defining their purpose?
And that is a big question, because it does seem like, oh my gosh, this is such a nebulous kind of concept, right? Purpose. And so really it's an intersection of the core impact that they want to make, how they want to deliver it, the method, and then the audience or the community that they're serving. So if brands think about it, it's really not inventing your purpose, it's really uncovering it. I'm willing to bet that if they talk to their customers and ask about how their customers view the brand and really reflect on that, they'll find the answer of what their purpose is in there. And so I often will advise brands to do that. You already survey your customers for their experience, for what they like about your brand. So why not figure out that purpose for your brand? Because it most likely is hiding there in that information that you can find from people who trust you, your customers.
That's interesting, because you're right. It's always there. It's just, I love that, uncovering it. So let me, I was going to ask you once they define it, but once they uncover it, Let's put it that way.
I
So once a
love
brand,
that.
once they uncover it, how do they go about integrating that purpose into every part of their brand, like from their marketing to company culture to customer experience? I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of a leap, but as you said, it's already there. So now it's just, how do you expose it?
Right. And once they've uncovered it, and hopefully it's something that they can truly be authentic about and genuine about, because as you know, today's consumers are very savvy and they can tell immediately if something is inauthentic or if a brand is just paying lip service. And so that is the other caveat that I want to share is like, once you discover this purpose, make sure that it is something that you can genuinely incorporate across your culture, your company, and your communications. And so just thinking about marketing, right? Using that lens of purpose, filtering your stories through that lens. How are we sharing our stories and keeping our purpose at the forefront within our marketing communications, both externally and internally? Thinking about the culture in the company. Are we hiring, rewarding, leading with our why? Many companies do a personality assessment for people that they want to hire because they want to make sure that they're hiring people that are a good fit for their culture and their company. And purpose can absolutely be part of that assessment as well. And as far as the customer experience, right, we're thinking about how to deliver on that promise consistently across touch points, pre-sale, post-sale, any other type of touch point that you would have with your customer. And that's how you integrate it. I know it seems like, okay, these are easy steps, but it really is sitting down and taking and discovering really that plan and that roadmap on how to make sure that purpose is every part of these factors for the company and the brand. Think of it like a thread, right? That's reaching out for every touch point that we've just talked about.
We are chatting with Anh Nguyen with Amplified Marketing about building a purpose-driven brand. So if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section here as we go along. So you kind of touched on it there, Anh, about, making sure that this is authentic and not performative. But are there any other sort of red flags that or mistakes you see businesses make when they're, developing a brand voice and it isn't authentic? Like what should they look out for?
Absolutely. Really saying one thing and doing something else, right? And really not walking that talk. I'll give an example, and I'm not going to name any names because I don't want to embarrass them. It's a company in Houston, and literally all I saw was one reference about sustainability and how they support it. But I saw nowhere else about how they support it, how it's incorporated into their culture, how it's incorporated into their practices and their solutions for their customers. So that feels very much like, oh, we slapped sustainability on here as a keyword, or just for folks who are searching for a sustainable vendor to work with. So that absolutely would be a red flag to me, because I only found it referenced in one place, and that was about them. Thinking about, buzzwords, using buzzwords with really no proof or no purpose, including purpose in the tagline. Again, just really paying lip service, right? Whatever in your tagline, and then you look and see, okay, their products don't have any kind of, if they say they use sustainability, I'll use that as an example. Their products, there's no sustainable practices for their products. And what about the people that they are doing business with? What about the vendors that they source from? There's no sustainability there. And so that's definitely, a buzzword, and that would be a huge red flag. And really, again, also inconsistent behavior between their teams and their channels. Again, consumers are so much more savvy than we think and give them credit for nowadays, and that is absolutely can be seen. And also being transparent about what those practices are too. People are expecting transparency as well.
Yeah, when you're talking about more savvy, especially these younger kids, like these younger folks, not kids, I'm old. Under 30 is a kid to me. But they do. I think they research that, and they really want to be able to, connect to a brand that is, supporting their values, and just there's like zero content on it and what they're doing, they can pretty much suss that out pretty quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
So you talk, this is also important. Like, we want to have a purpose, but we also want to be profitable, right? So how do brands, connect their purpose to actual revenue? And I think, like, they can make a lot of money doing this. It's just,
Absolutely. One of the speakers, you all at Content Marketing World, there was a purposeful marketing track, and I loved sitting in the sessions, and I wish that I recalled this speaker's name, because it was fantastic. Because one of the things that she shared in her session was, as a purposeful brand, you can make a profit. The two are not mutually exclusive of each other. And I went, wow, because I often feel like brands think, okay, if I'm going to be purposeful, I'm doing something good, and I shouldn't be talking like profit's a dirty word or something. And it's not. We've got to make money. We're here to make a living. And so for brands to think about purpose and profit, they're not mutually exclusive. And I so appreciated that she said this, and eventually I will remember the speaker's name. Absolutely appreciate the sessions on that track at Content Marketing World as well. So, thinking about purpose driving revenue as an outcome. With purpose, if your purpose and your values align with your customers, that's building trust, that's building that emotional differentiator, building that emotional resonance. Because if I'm emotionally bonded to a brand, I'm going to continue to purchase from them. If I trust a brand, I'm going to continue to purchase from them. That absolutely affects the bottom line, because it's recurring revenue as well. As we know, as marketers, it's more expensive to gain new customers than it is to continue to keep your existing customers happy. So on both fronts, your purpose and your values can also gain you new customers, but keeping those recurring customers happy and keeping them coming back and buying from you, but also being really great brand ambassadors for you. These are your raving fans who are going to talk about how wonderful your product or your solution is, but also how wonderful your company is, because you're supporting something that's of value to them. And most often their families and their friends as well. Your tribe, your vibe attracts your tribe. And so most often these are like-minded folks too. And that's how I would love for brands to consider that having this purpose is important to their bottom line.
Yeah, word of mouth is so important. I think it's going to be more important than we already know that, but I mean, as the algorithms sort of put us all in our little our little bubbles, that I think this word of mouth is
right. But even just thinking about the content that we respond to, when there's something that is emotionally resonant for us, we go, oh, I want to definitely support that brand. I always use an example. The SPCA probably is. I mean, who doesn't love animals? My goodness. I mean, you see those, they do those videos where the animals are suffering and it's cold, and you're going, yes, just take my money. And so brands will absolutely do these things too. And I did want to share a quick stat from Kantar. If you're not familiar with Kantar, they're a data analytics consulting type of group. They have done studies where it shows that purposeful brands grow 2 times as fast as brands that do not show up as a purposeful brand.
Wow. Well, so one of the bigger questions that I have, and I'm sure everybody else is thinking about it too, to pick your brain a little bit about which examples. I mean, you mentioned the ASPCA, but what are some of the big brands, or big or small, that you think are doing this exceptionally well, and what can others learn from them?
Oh, I love it. So Legos, who doesn't love Legos?
Right.
They are all about sustainability. They really put their money where their mouth is, right? The Lego bricks are now sourced with sustainable products, or raw products, and they make sure that they work with vendors who are who really support the sustainable practices. I pulled this up just so I would have up-to-date information for you guys. So according to Sustainability Magazine, Lego Group's 2024 growth outpaced the toy market. And it continues to make sustainability progress. Yep. And I love the fact that Lego does not pass on the increased cost of making sure that everything is sustainable and really living the purpose to the consumer. So, oftentimes when you are using sustainable materials, there's increased cost. And so companies may pass it on to their consumer, but Lego has not done that. And it has not hurt them. They continue to have double-digit growth in revenue. And so that's definitely one example. But Lego's a huge global brand.
Sure.
So I imagine there are lots of companies out there where people are going, okay, Anne, I'm not a Lego, I'm not a Patagonia, I'm not a
Right.
Warby Parker, right? What can I do? Well, you absolutely can be a purposeful brand, even in your space. I got approval to talk about them, and I'm super proud. Full transparency, this is one of my clients. Public safety towers company. So you're thinking, oh, they just put up cell towers and infrastructure. But their purpose is public safety and making sure that people are able to communicate when there is an emergency, right? So essentially, I think they're saving lives because they work in areas that are geographically challenging. And so they're helping families to stay connected, but more importantly, you're going to be able to call 911 when you need it because over 80% of people now use their mobiles to call 911. Very few of us have landlines. And so that is a purpose. And that's what we talk about in their messaging and their content. Another small brand that I came across here in the Dallas area where I live is called Lemon Drop Coffee. And it's a play. There's a street called Lemon Street here. And so that's the play on the name. But they are all about making sure that they are really community, making an impact in their community, engaged in their community. And it's not like they're not saying, come in and buy a bag, we'll give a bag of coffee, right? I mean, coffee is such a common type of product. Who doesn't love coffee? I know all the tea drinkers are going, I'm a tea drinker, right? But their mission is really about spreading like good vibes. And so what their support is, come in and buy coffee from us, and every sale counts, and the revenue goes towards, I think it's the Trees Foundation. And so that is their mission, and that's what they support. I know it's a little bit of people may feel like, wow, it's a disconnect from their, coffee and trees. But if you look at their mission about making a positive impact on their Dallas community, it makes sense because making sure that you support the Trees Foundation and making sure that the trees are being planted throughout their community, it absolutely ties in and makes sense. So those are a couple of smaller companies that I think are really good examples for how anybody can be a purposeful, driven brand.
I bet small businesses, it's probably easier for small businesses because they are such an integral part of their communities and they have a grasp on it, and there's things they're passionate about that finding their purpose, but making sure then that they're telling everybody that purpose and sharing that story, like you said.
Absolutely.
And conversely, large brands like Lego, who have basically the market share in the toy world, they can say, hey, we're doing this, and if you're a supplier to us, you get on board because this is the way it's going to go. We have a purpose, and we're doing, like, I love now getting back to Gen X talk here. I don't feel so guilty about the extremely large Lego Rolling Stones tongue that I bought. In my
You're
office
supporting, yes, you are supporting a brand that's making an impact on the world. And I don't recall the year, but again, I really dug into Lego as a case study, and they were losing, triple digit revenue numbers for a number of years, and then decided, sustainability is important to us. Let's make sure that we are living and breathing it, and it's in every part of our company and our culture and communication. And that's, as I've shared, it's done wonders. It's turned their revenue around.
Right.
Great. So before we go here, Anne, people are, thinking about, having a purpose-driven brand, what's one practical strategy you have for businesses that they could, implement today to start aligning their brand with their purpose?
So just start with one thing, right? When we think about, okay, how do I pivot, or how do I make sure that my purpose is out there in the world? It just seems so overwhelming, but really it's not. Just start with one aligned action. do a quick messaging audit of your marketing assets, of your communications, both externally and internally, and highlight where your purpose shows up or where it doesn't, and make sure that you're making that those edits and the refinement in your messaging and your content to make sure that the purpose does show up. Create or add a purpose checkpoint, right, to content planning. We all know, I mean, we're thinking about planning for the probably Q1 at this point, your content calendar. Add a purpose checkpoint and make sure, oh, is this content, is this messaging, is it true to our purpose? Are we making sure that we are incorporating it? Or share just one customer story that really reflects your purpose directly. And so just start with the one thing.
That makes it manageable.
Yes. It's like that one where it says, how do you eat an elephant, right? One piece at a time.
One bite at a time, right?
Yeah.
Well, Anne, this was great. So much great information here. Thank you for sharing it today. How can people connect with you or find you if they want to learn a little bit more?
Absolutely. I am very active on LinkedIn. As you know, I like kind of bother you guys all the time on LinkedIn, right? But that's the best place to find me. And then, of course, yeah, LinkedIn is really it, because I used to be a Twitter user, but I'm no longer really a Twitter user. And Facebook is still very much kind of my own personal space. I don't use it a lot for business. So LinkedIn is it. But I really appreciate the opportunity to have this conversation with you both. As you can tell, I'm very passionate about it. And I think this is where business is heading, and we need to really be mindful of it and ahead of the curve.
Awesome.
Great. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Anne. And we appreciate it. And have a good rest of your day.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in.
Today, too.
Yeah.
Bye.
Oh, that was awesome.
All right. It's a great message for everyone as we head into the holiday here in the US. So before we go, we do have a few things happening at CMI that we want to tell you about. So first of all, we're known for our B2B content marketing research, but we also do research reports just for our tech marketer friends. So the Technology Content Marketing and Trends Insights for 2026 report is officially live, and it's packed with insights on budget, teams, content challenges, and of course, AI, and much driving success for industry's top performers. And the research shows that technology marketers are more confident in their effectiveness, more aligned with sales, more mature in data governance and AI adoption than their B2B peers in other industries. Yet there is some new friction that comes with that. So be sure to check out that new research. Go to contentmarketinginstitute.com. It's our Technology Content Marketing Trends Report. JK works really hard on that every year along with our editorial team. So be sure to check that out. And 2026 is calling, and it's saying you should become a certified content marketing pro. So right now you can save 20% on your enrollment in Content Marketing Institute certification program. So head over to contentmarketinguniversity.com. Use that code there, BlackFry20, to get your discount. So think about investing in yourself. Give yourself a little gift before the year ends. So enroll today, because the savings will end on November 30th. And what else do we have, JK?
Oh, well, if you missed all of the in-person action at Content Marketing World, you can still catch all of the awesome learning. Use, get your digital pass and use code LIVE100 and save $100 on the pass. Head over to Content Marketing World and check it out. I mean, this year was, we've talked it over and over, but it was stellar this year. Everybody that, I've been chatting with on LinkedIn and all my socials, we're still talking about it. I mean, it's crazy. It's been over almost a month and a half, 2 months now, and it is still such a live topic and wonderful conversation still going on about what we learned this year. So, and I think next year is going to be even more interesting as the year shakes out.
Yes. We should, always more fun, always more of everything in content marketing
that's
world.
true.
So, well, that's all we have for you today. We will be back in a few weeks for our final episode of this season of Live with CMI, and we'll wrap it up before we all head off for the holidays. So until then, that's all I got.
Yeah.
Have a great holiday, Thanksgiving holiday
Take
if you're
care.
in the US. And we'll see you in a few weeks.